Oh, hey folks, how you doing? This is a beautiful Monday night. It is the 26th of July, Monday, and we are dealing with global noisiness right now. Um, another thing that should be taxed. I honestly believe that once you get busted with one of these loud mufflers, I think that they should just give you a $50,000 fine. A lot of people think that I'm kidding about with that. I'm not kidding at all. A $50,000 fine. You put people's renewal for their driver's license at an extra $300 charge every time they do it, and every year on their registration, if they want to drive a loud car, then you charge them $1,000 a year. And when you think about it, when when you can think of the pleasure derived and the mating call that will be put out every time that you put your foot on that gas where it makes all this loud noise. Think about what a bargain that is. You know what I mean? All these loud cars. God, I hate it. Anyways, maybe I'm just turning into an old fuddy-duddy. How you doing, folks? I'm sorry. My thoughts are meandering. I can't gather myself. Let's check out Big Gay, okay? And let's see what's going on there. And then we'll take a quick market run, and then into the news we shall go. All right? Okay. Um, let's see. All right, Bitcoin price. Sorry, folks. It's probably over 40,000 now. 37,600. So it was. I saw it at 38 this morning. So it's way up. But that's why I don't mess around with it, because the volatility of Bitcoin, among other things, I don't want to deal with. Just don't want to deal with it. All right, and now we will go straight into um, gold and silver, and then we're off to the races. All right. JM bullion, and here is where. Oh, that's not it. All right. Well, they're showing the markets here anyway. It's a different one. Gold is at 1803, down a nickel, and silver's down 2 cents at $25.25. I thought it was down a little bit more than that, but whatever. There you have it. Okay, we'll make a real quick check on the Dow just to see what the Dow is doing. The Dow is up 82 points. I had a little talk with my friend MJ, who I will stop referring to as 6'9" dunce. He has graduated now. He's moved so far up the line from the dumbest man in the world that we cannot bestow him the honor of that anymore. He has to just come out as MJ. Okay. Um, we we were talking a little bit earlier, and he was filling me in on some stuff over there, which he kind of corrected me on, I must admit, World War II stuff. But anyways, let's get straight into the news, shall we? Let's get straight into the news. All right. Going as quick as I can. We're going on Drudge, okay? Here we go. Well, I'm reading this, okay? I'm not making this up. I'll try not to embellish too much. Doctors, nurses, medical groups call for mandatory vax for all health workers. Well, what could be better, right? See, folks, this is all going to start to make perfect sense to everybody very shortly, because the artificial intelligence did you ever go fishing and you know that, like, if you take a worm and you screw around with the worm and you bring them in just enough and you know just how to do it, you'll catch that fish, because some fish are really cagey? That's like a lot of you cagey people out there. If they were to have told you that they were going to mandatorily give you an injection, virtually all of you would have said no, right? Or you would have had qualifying comments, right? Well, I'd have to check my pea brain and see if it was something that I thought was reasonable, right? It would be qualified, right? So this is, like, it was done beautifully. You have to give them credit. If they this is why I told you I know where this is going now with the jabs. With the jabs, what they're going to do is it's going by stages. And the first stage was, oh my goodness, why in the world, if it was available, would you not take the jab? And then that will move to a little bit more insisting that you take the jab, and then an embarrassment kind of angle, and then it will move to um, where you're to blame. That's the newest one now. You're to blame. So if people are getting this, if people are getting sick, for God's sakes, use your head. You're to blame. It's your fault. And it would get to the point, like I told you with that Milgram experiment. People will have no trouble once they get reeled in like a fish with this nonsense that the artificial intelligence understands how they feel about things. They're going to have no trouble at all with possible torture of people that don't want to take the jab, possible death sentence for people, removing them from their children or from their house, making it so they can't work, possibly making it so that they can only have food brought to them, things like this. And you mindless idiots will go right along with it. It will mean nothing to you, because you will be part of that Milgram experiment where you're one of the ones administering the shock, because you've already had it done. And have you ever really thought about what it is? Have you ever really thought about it? Oh, that's right. You're all doctors, right? You're all superheroes, right? You all know. You come on here and you embarrass yourself by telling me, like on my last channel that was removed, right? Well, you know why. You know why it was removed. We can't have that. I did a video yesterday. If you mindless men had daughters that were of marrying age and you couldn't find any information online about them, would you let the man marry your daughter? 99.9% would say, look, I'd like some information on this. But you don't care when it comes to taking something, right? You don't care. That's because they played you like a fiddle, like a fisherman reels in a fish. They knew what you were going to resist, and they just worked you for a while. They're not going to have any trouble at all with getting you to agree to severely punish by criminal standards people who don't want to take the vaccine. And they will make sure that you understand that they are just evil people that are not too far from people who just want to kill people. That's what they're going to do, and you're going to be more than anxious to believe it. It's called mindless idiocy, and that's what we have. We've got one person dumber than the next, and it doesn't matter where you go. I give up. I mean, about last Friday or something, I was at Chick-fil-A, and that you're supposed to be in the top of the food chain there, so to speak. Each one is dumber than the next. And that's the top of the food chain. Those are the people that like Trump. They're Trump people. They're not Democrats. They voted for Trump in the last election. They were Democrats before, but they voted for Trump this time. It's like ridiculous. You know what I mean, folks? So these mindless idiots here, they're going to go along with whatever the prevailing public wisdom is. And the public wisdom will be spoon-fed to them slowly, and they will absorb the way that artificial intelligence wants them to absorb it, the way the small amount of families who control these newscasts are going to do. If I turn this on for you, it's getting worse and worse. So we won't even waste time with that. Like I said, let's just keep going with the news, okay? So I don't bore you into infinity. I don't know if it's Virginia or VA, Veterans Administration, becomes first federal agency to require this. So if you're a nurse or you're a doctor or anyone else and you want to continue to make money, well, you don't have to worry about it, because if you're really good and you have a lot of ambition, I can teach you how to weed eat, and you could come over here. You could make dozens of dollars a day with me. I'm telling you, you won't even miss that. And it's so dangerous working with that COVID-19. You won't even miss your profession. Once you get a feel of a couple of $1 bills and those $5 bills intermittently, and occasionally you get a 20, I'm telling you, you won't even miss the medical field anymore, or the money. You probably got plenty of money anyway, okay? Damn it, folks, the Metro PCS tablet is the worst piece of junk I have ever seen. It's like something out of 1996 or something. It's like the most ridiculous junk tablet in the world. So, okay, folks, I got to recollect myself. I am so frustrated and beguiled by this whole thing, as Shakespeare said. I don't understand how people can be so stupid. I don't understand how people don't understand when they're being shucked and jived. I don't understand it. You're telling me you can't understand? You can't even consider the possibility? California to require vaccination or testing for state employees. By the way, I want to throw this out there because I have to talk to my egghead son because he's sick now and he's calling for his mother because he thinks he's dying of COVID-19 over there in the Philippines. So I don't know what the proper thing is I'm supposed to do, whether I should kind of tell him to shape up or feel sorry for him and kind of, pamper him. He's only 14, but I already know what his game is. He's listening to a lot of the people over there who are telling him that I'm crazy, and they have a kind of more typical democratic view of things over there. Not all of them, but quite a few of them. And I don't think he can resist to believe the nonsense. So I talked to him earlier this morning, and because I've been sending him a whole bunch of like candy and all that kind of stuff, all these foodstuffs. But he seemed like he was okay, but we'll see what happens. All right, so California, if you're a nurse or a doctor and you don't want to come work with me for dozens of dollars every day, then I guess you're just going to have to get vaccinated. So remove your brain, put your arm out, and say, "Yay! I'm going to get vaccinated! Hooray!" You be a mindless idiot, too. And then make sure you realize that you're going to get a whole bunch more. They're going to be boosters. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You're going to get boosters after boosters after boosters, too. You can call it afterburners. Oh, boy, that is really terrific. That's for the mindless idiot there. The other one that got jabbed, okay? So we've got mindless idiots all over here, okay? Never ends. Just never ends. This is an on and on process. It is so frustrating, folks. These are otherwise intelligent people. I've not met an intelligent person since Friday when I was in Chick-fil-A, and the guy came over to me, who's 63 years old. He says, "I overheard you." You're right, man. You're right. That's the last time. Okay, let's get on before, that brain tick that starts with me after about 3 minutes of this. Oh, man, look at this terrible tablet. Can you believe this? Oh. All right, let's keep going. So now if you're a nurse, you're taking it, okay? They don't care about your whatever, okay? Your papers, please, okay? New York City orders shots or weekly tests for all public employees. My goodness. What happens if you come out positive? My goodness. Speaking of that, did you hear the latest? Would you like me to show you the latest? Another person near death testing positive for the scam. You want to see the latest? Let me show you the latest. The latest. You won't believe it when I show you. The latest on golfer Jon Rahm. Let's see if it's going to show it. Okay. Let me run this by you because a lot of people won't believe this, but you can check it for yourself. Jon Rahm was playing in the PGA Tour. It was what, like a month and a half ago, if that. If it was 2 months ago, I don't know when it was, but it was recent. And he tested positive for the scam. And guess what happened to him? He was so close to death with the scam that he was 6 strokes ahead in the PGA Tour. And 2 big dudes came onto the golf course and escorted him and disqualified him from the PGA Tour, taking him out. Folks, that's a PGA millionaire. That should frighten you beyond belief because we're just peons, not PGA millionaires. Do you understand? So that was the first round. Now, I saw this morning that it says Tokyo Olympics. Jon Rahm of Spain, second star golfer to withdraw after COVID-19 scam, testing positive for the scam. So you can see that he's near death, just nothing more than a walking skeleton, near death. So he has to be removed from the tour. Folks, I know a lot of you are really, really dumb, but can you put any of this together in your skull? Can you put this together at all? At all? Can you see where this is going? So he has to withdraw again, right? And you know what? I'm going to tell this to my son, but my son, he can't think. You know what I mean? I'm so embarrassed about this because all he wants to do is play these damn video games. I'm sure everybody's the same, right? All fathers are the same now. They know how to play the video games, but they don't know anything else. That's another frustrating thing on my mind at this point. All right, so now you know about Jon Rahm. I thought he was a Caribbean boy, but he's not. He's evidently from Spain, okay? Now, let's get back to the news at hand, okay? Let's finish out this news. Sorry, folks. Taking me a little while to get to everything. Okay, let's keep going. Newsom, I guess that's the king there of California. Vows strongest verification system in U.S. Well, of course, he's a Bolshevik. What do you think a Bolshevik is going to do? They're going to make sure that democratic Bolshevism continues until we have true Bolshevism, like they did in the 30s, when more of the Bolsheviks left to go to Russia than came into the United States because they were so disenchanted with the United States because of free enterprise, and they preferred something a little bit more equal. So embarrassing. All right, it says maskless city workers will have to wear stickers declaring status. Jesus H. Christ. Remember I told you about the tattoos? Folks, it just keeps going. I told you. It just keeps moving toward what I've been telling you. On my last channel, I told you. Just maybe a 15 or 16 numbers right here over one eye. It's not really obtrusive or anything. And it will show the people who are dangerous and don't want to take this thing one and thing two. I think it makes all the sense in the world. This way you don't have to say, yeah, what? Your papers, please. Right? Wouldn't that make sense? I mean, they did this in history, right? All throughout the 30s, late 30s and into the 40s, this is what they did. Right? In a place far away, Yabo, right? How did we get here, folks? Is this what happens when a lawn man is smarter than 99.9% of you? Is that what this is? I'm an embarrassment. I'm embarrassed to be at the top of the spear, at the tip of the spear. I'm it. Do you hear anyone else on YouTube? I don't. I'd listen to them. I don't hear anyone. I'm it. And I get butt kissed. I don't get anything. I get only heartaches. Let's keep going. Sorry, folks. I have to give you the skinny on this. I'm only going to read the important stuff today. Boy, there's a lot of news here. Boy, there's a lot of news. All right, so maskless city workers, I don't know why they just don't give them tattoos. They can always do tattoos to cover up numbers and things like that if you ever change your status. I think that makes the most sense of it all, not stickers. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there, which I'm sure is no concern to you mindless idiots out there, which is 99.9% of you, if not more. My subscribers excluded, of course. All right, more EU states require passes to enter bars and restaurants. Well, why not? Why not? It's too dangerous. Why not put advertisements with people wearing masks all over the place? It's the new thing. We'll never get back to anything other than wearing masks. That's what the Bolsheviks want. They want this to go back to Bolshevism, where everybody's equal. But you know how that is. Some people are usually more equal than other people. It's like watching a Star Trek episode from 1968. Honest to God, this is what this is turning into. Now, you know what? Normally I overdo this with drama. What is this? What is this? I didn't even read it. All I know is this is the new thing that they want you to see and be scared of, evidently. Let me look at it. Sinovac, a covert jab, okay, fades after 6 months. Well, what do you know? It means you're going to have multiple boosters. Well, aren't you happy about that? It's going to fade off in 6 months. What have we been telling you? You can forget about one shot. It's going to be shot after shot after shot. Was this something that we were talking about before? But no, we were shut down because we wouldn't want to put out things there that weren't going to happen, right? Oh, so after 6 months, this isn't going to be very good, huh? Folks, you people make me sick. You couldn't see this coming, huh? Are you really telling me you couldn't see this coming, that they're going to have shot after shot after shot for you? So now in 6 months, it's not going to work? Now they're going to have another one for you? Or for us? Sorry, folks, I'm only going to read you something that I think is interesting here. Mississippi stops allowing visitors on verge of canceling non-emergency surgeries. FDA, the Food and Drug Administration, expands jab studies of kids 5 to 11. Five to 11 years old. The answer, you mindless idiots, is to give it to them in utero. What is wrong with you people? You give it to them when it's in the mother's stomach. Idiots. Piers Morgan says anti-jabber lunatics must be stopped from destroying everybody's freedom. Pastor threatens to remove people with face masks from church. Booster shots on horizon, mixing and matching takes off. Well, pretty soon you'll get your choice to have designer jabs. That makes all the sense in the world to me. Put a little menu up there. And people will be very happy about it. I'm quite sure of that. Macron pushes for Israeli inquiry into spyware. Who cares? White people have the lowest life expectancy of any ethnic group in England. Not if you're the Queen, right? Or in the royal family. Tesla reports income up tenfold from a year ago. It may be true. I see a lot of Teslas now. I see a lot. There's a lot here in South Florida. I don't see a lot of charging stations, but I see a lot of Teslas. New home sales fall to scam low. Bust. Big losses ahead for markets? Question mark. Terrifying new forecast. By the way, folks, driving around Hollywood here, I saw quite a few houses that went into foreclosure. This is just popping up now. I'm just seeing it now. Today and yesterday, I'm just beginning to see more and more. It reminds me of 1993 when Bill Clinton was in office. And there were a lot then, too. I know my ex-girlfriend Shirley bought her house then. She got it for $50,000. I remember. San Francisco considering congestion tax on high-earning drivers. Well, there you go. There's your Bolshevism. You rich people thought you were going to get away? You ain't going to get away. You got Bolshevism now, and it's going to get serious. You understand? And it ain't going to be just one race of people like it was before in the 30s and in the 40s. It's going to be multiracial now. Eight dead in 22-car pileup during Utah sandstorm. That sounds terrible. Weed nuns. They're smoking weed, these nuns. On mission to heal world with cannabis. Okay. Kyle, are you listening here? Does this mean anything to you? I'm just kidding. I'm actually not kidding. Texas man who killed party goer and wounded 3, stoned to death by crowd. That's in Texas. Well, they don't play around in Texas. They don't play around. They don't fool about. Aaron Rodgers plans to play for Packers in stunning turn of events. Didn't he want to be a newscaster or something, or a talk show host? I forgot what he wanted. But he wanted to be something like that, or a game show host. I forgot what it was. I'm not making that up. He wanted to do Jeopardy or something. Isn't that what he wanted to do? Something like that. Surge of Delta variant poses new political threat to Biden and his agenda of Bolshevism. Yes. Wait till the foreclosures start going up and skyrocketing because a lot of people lost their jobs because of the scam. See? That's going to start to come to fruition very soon. U.S. The bad picture there, 40 years. Yeah, 40 years, that dumb guinea there. Yeah, 40 years, he throws the ball, and the ball goes that way. The ball's supposed to go that way, but the ball winds up going over that way. You know the bad picture there from New York? Old Fauch warns going in the wrong direction. My goodness, we better listen to him. Or we're all possibly going to, you know what? USA will not lift travel restrictions. Heathrow, which is in England, says it'll see even less passengers this year than the last. Well, that can only be good for taking in money into the public coffers, okay? Don't worry about a thing. This is all going to work out perfectly. You'll see. White House says, quote, long COVID-19, quote unquote, could qualify as a disability. Well, there's something. There's something positive. Seriously, maybe you could, get on the public dole with that. I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to have to check that out. I could use a little bit of money like that instead of doing what I have to do. Seriously. Okay. It says treatment options remain elusive despite months of efforts by our big, brave superheroes there. Researchers link heavy wildfire smoke to increased risk of contracting the scam. Very interesting. California man who mocked the jab dies of it. My God, that's absolute proof. For God's sakes, take head in hand with both hands and start screaming and run around. Oh, here it is right here. That's proof positive. Yep. Okay. Let's get back to the Drudge Report here, shall we, please? Congressman who thought had natural immunity infected a second time. My goodness. Update. Hospitalized radio host was outspoken skeptic. My God. All this evidence coming in, my goodness. We need to start getting on the ball here. Get Fauci on the radio and on the TV immediately. We have to follow orders here. Good grief, we wouldn't want to all die. Markets on a high. Pollution turns Argentina lake bright pink. That is kind of weird. That looks strange. Australia sees scam cases climb. Police warn against protest repeat. For God's sakes, we wouldn't want you to have any say about anything. Just do as you're told and go inside and do exactly as you're told and shut your mouth. That's what you do here. You don't do anything else. Okay, you wouldn't want to be responsible for all these people that are dying. So just shut your mouth and do what you're supposed to do and be happy about it. Surprising innovations of scam era sex. Yeah, it's called having none. Dems eye path to citizenship for 8 million. You don't say. What a shocker that is, huh? American Airlines warns of fuel shortages. Why not? Let's have some fuel shortages. We need that price to go up. Stop everybody from going out and being spreaders of all this, okay? That's a good thing in the long run. Texas firefighter kidnapped and murdered in Cancun. Well, I wouldn't go to Mexico, frankly. I wouldn't go there. I mean, when I heard the story of, these people having machine guns and they're on jet skis shooting up, the joint, I don't think, they do a little sweep of the beach there. I don't think I'd want to go to Cancun or Acapulco or anywhere else in Mexico. That's just my own thing. I do like their mint. It's been around since the 1600s, but other than that, I don't think anywhere else is safe in that godforsaken country. No offense.